What's up, Chatter Bitch? Salam alaikum. Oh boy, this gonna be good. I ain't went live in a minute. So y'all better come on in. Cause I'm finna get witty. In this rain, about to go play basketball at the gym. Oh, okay. Well, I came on here to talk about these so-called drones. Which, in fact, I don't think they're drones at all. And so, I'm well versed in my fields of study. Although I'm a Muslim, I've studied many things. I've read many books. Some that probably a Muslim, some would think a Muslim not supposed to be reading. But there's a saying by the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu wasallam, that says, seek knowledge even until China. Seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. So, I live by that. And so, I'm a seeker of knowledge. But, this thing that's going on, now it could be one of two things. It can either be a psyop. It could be a government psyop. Because the government has their own U.A.Ps. They call it U.A.P. now, unidentified aerial phenomena. Okay? That's what they call it. And so they have their own what would be called before U.F.Os. The government has them. SpaceX, they also have them. Elon Musk has them too. Because I saw a picture of one in his in one of the flight garages or whatever they call that thing where they keep they spacecraft or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And so like the Germans with Hitler and them was the first one to have them. They own UFOs, because he actually had manufactured and made some back in the 40s, so he was the first one to have them. And so they have the technology is what I'm saying. And so, but I'm not going to say all of them are just that, what I'm saying, man-made craft from Earth, because some may be and some may be not, But if you have seen these objects before, because I've seen these objects before, and there are various different shapes of them, because I myself have seen UFOs. I've seen quite a bit of them from being a small child until adulthood. And so, and there's even been teachers you know what I'm saying, in religious cults and whatnot, and even in organized religion, it's taught about UFOs and said that UFOs is going to pull up. There's even recorded. It's recorded even in the Holy Bible, in the Old Testament, in the book of Ezekiel, about a vision that Ezekiel saw. He saw Ezekiel's will. We can even go back further from the account given by prophet Ezekiel in the Holy Bible, all the way back to ancient Mesopotamia, to the accounts in the Sumerian tablets, when it speaks about the Anunnaki coming down to Earth on ships. They were ancient astronauts. Is what the Anunnakis were, and in the story in the Sumerian tablets, they came to Earth from the planet Nibiru, and they was looking for gold to fix the dwindling atmosphere on their planet Nibiru. Now, this is what I'm talking about with the Anunnakis and the Sumerian tablets. This information was in some books by Zachariah Sitchin, first taught to the black people in the conscious community by Dr. Malachi Z. York, and in the present is being taught by the guy Billy Carson, and so and others, they talk about it. But I known about the Anunnaki since 1992. I actually went to the library in the 90s, and I had checked out the Gilgamesh epics at the time. And I remember when I checked that book out, the lady asked me, why did I want to check that book out? And I said, what do you mean, why? She said, well, sir, you're the first person that's ever come into this library to ask to check that book out, because no one had ever asked to check the book out. And they had that book in the library for a long, long time, and no one ever came and asked to check that book out. Because I remember I checked out all the books that they had on the Sumerian tablets that they had at the Central Arkansas Library at the time. And I read them because I kept the books too long, because I ended up paying some hefty fees when I returned the books back. But I ended up giving them back. And then after that, I had went and bought the whole Earth Chronicles series by Zachariah Stitching, because I had the whole Earth Chronicles series way back in 1993. I'm telling you, I'm studying this way back in the early 90s. Like, this stuff not new to me. But like I say, I've seen unidentified flying objects myself, But the funny part in this all is that, it could be true, what's happening, because they're appearing all up on the eastern seaboard in New Jersey and New York. There's sightings of them through the Midwest, even all the way out to Colorado, even the West Coast. I saw some personally myself here in Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? I did. And I saw them, and so, it's one of those things where if you're expecting the government to tell you the truth about this, they're never going to tell you the truth about it, because I'm sitting there watching them on TV and they lying. You know what I'm saying? Now, during the pandemic, they came out and they said that they had crashed UFOs, which they was talking about the ships from the 40s with Roswell. They even had the bodies of these so-called beings or whatever. And so they come out and start revealing stuff about UFOs, but then now they come back retracting it and lying. And it was this one guy, he was a whistleblower. He used to work for the FBI. And he came on the independent news media called Redacted. Assalamu alaikum, Dawood. So he came on Redacted. It's independent news media on YouTube and Rumble. It's actually one of my favorite news media shows to watch because these people actually put out real news in real time and they tell the truth. They don't tell lies like the major news media station does. But anyway, they brought the guy on and he's a whistleblower that used to work for the FBI. Now, he came out and he said that it was going to be a false flag attack, alien invasion. He said this. Now, not too long after he said that, you had the situation that pop up in Miami where they say the aliens that come out this wormhole that appear inside the mall there in Miami there. You know what I'm saying? And so then now we have moved from that situation to the current situation where we at now, where all these U.A.Ps or drones, as they're calling them, are appearing all up and down the eastern seaboard, New York, New Jersey, the Midwest, you know, Colorado, West Coast, all that. You know, I even saw a video today, this morning, where it was a Rasta in Jamaica. He said he seen them all the way out there in Jamaica up in the mountains because this Rastafarian, he live up in the mountains. You know what I'm saying? And that brother was saying that he seen these so-called drones and he like me, he said they're not drones. And so now, if you read the book of Enoch, I don't know if many of y'all are familiar with the book of Enoch, but I have the book of Enoch myself. And so in the book of Enoch, Enoch the prophet is one of the books that was taken out of the Bible, actually, the book of Enoch. And so in the book of Enoch, he talks about a group of beings who they call the Watchers. Now, these same Watchers, they refer to them in the Sumerian tablets as the Agigi. You know what I'm saying? And the Agigi are supposed to be like in Dr. York's teachings in the Holy Tablet. But I read the Holy Tablets. I studied with Dr. York many years, you know, while still yet having my foot inside the masjid when he would say things about Islam I didn't like, but I still stayed there and studied learning that information. So in the Holy Tablets, Dr. York, he mentioned about the Agigi also, you know what I'm saying? And he talked about the Anunnakis in there. And in York, he actually gave a date. You know what I'm saying? It was like from this time to this time when these craft were supposed to arrive to planet Earth from beyond the asteroid belt. So now York has said in the Holy Tablet that the Anunnakis was going to come for the 144,000. Now, the 144,000 is talked about in the book of Revelation. The 144,000 is out of the 12 tribes of Israel. You know, the Israelites, okay? Because, you know, the Israelites, you know, a lot of the different camps of the Israelites, they believe in the UFOs as well. And they believe that the Elohim gonna descend and, you know, choose the chosen ones and take them up. So anyway, York has said in the Holy Tablet that the pickup was going to start in 2003 and it was going to go from 2003 to 2030. you know. Now 2030 is when they gotta have the New World Order, gotta have all this stuff wrapped up. You know what I'm saying? By 2030, you know, with all this stuff that they doing to further enslave humanity in the digital matrix, which is the smart cities. You know what I'm saying? Because they gotta have the New World Order, gotta have this thing wrapped up by 2030. You know what I'm saying? And they started the start of it was way back in 2000 when the towers got knocked down. In 2001, pardon me. When the towers got knocked down. But my nephew was born in 2001. And so you know, that was the beginning of this thing with the New World Order coming in. But see, most people can't see it because they may not have studied the information that I studied, you know, because I've studied a lot of, you know, what they would call conspiracy theory information. But the conspiracy theory has been right the whole time. So like, you know, I got a new word I introduced. I don't call it conspiracy theories no more. I call it conspiracy facts. You know what I'm saying? Because the conspiracy theorists, we was telling people all along various things of what we thought what was going to happen. And everything ended up panning out like we said. And then the people who was in doubt of what we were saying, they looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing of the matter is, I remember in that holy tablet, because I studied the holy tablets. Man, I studied the holy tablets for mad years. I used to teach out of it at my bookstore, at the bookstore back in the day that we had here. But anyway, York said the pickup was going to start in 2003. And it was going to go from 2003 to 2030. So now, here we are, going from 2024 to 2025. And like, you see this mass hysteria about these UFOs, you know what I'm saying? Or these UAPs, which they calling them drones, and they not drones. Because I've seen the objects in the daytime. I've seen the objects at nighttime. I've seen them at both times. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film any of them at nighttime because they really wasn't coming out that well on my camera. But I got some filmed in the daytime, and if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can watch them because many of them I seen out here at the skate park when I be out here chilling with my people, and I be doing zikr with my prayer beads, and I see the objects. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, I was at Tyson last week because I had texted a friend of mine about it because she done seen these objects too. I seen a whole fleet of them in Pine Bluff. It was about 10 to 12 of them at one time. This was last week while I was in the parking lot at Tyson. I saw 10 or 12 of them at one time. I kid you not. It was a lot of them because I couldn't believe it. It was like a whole fleet of them joints, for real. And so the funny thing about this all is, you know, in the Holy Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say in the Holy Quran that he created man and jinn to worship him. And in the Holy Quran, Allah says that he spread creatures all throughout the heavens. And this is, you know, in English, so it's not in Arabic, what I'm saying. But in the translation of it, he said he spread creatures all throughout the cosmos, the heavens. So me personally, I believe that there's other life form, you know. Now, what people are calling aliens in the religion of Al-Islam and the belief of the Muslim, we don't call them aliens. We call them jinns. And there's different species of jinns. You got some jinns that is Muslim. You got some jinns that's not Muslim. You know what I'm saying? You know, because Shaitan himself was a jinn. You know, he was of the jinn races. You know, and so it's quite interesting, this phenomenon, because two things is for certain and one thing is for sure. Wallahi, you can best believe that the government knows what it is. Don't let our government lie to you and tell you they don't know what it is. And also the other thing is, it could possibly be a psyop. Now, if the thing that they're talking about goes away and it disappears and you see it vanish from the news media, it definitely was a psyop if you see it vanish from the news media, you know? But this could possibly be real, like I say, because I myself personally have seen quite a few unidentified flying objects, things that are questionable in the skies. So, yeah. Yeah, Jen, definitely, yeah. Yeah, Mikhail. And so, you know, you just got to keep that in mind, because there's an agenda here. The agenda is to keep people under control. The agenda is to keep you distracted from the obvious. What is the obvious? The obvious is where the world is moving. We're in the middle of the Great Reset. Okay? That's where we're at. Now, they taking you out of one way of life, of doing things, and they taking you into this digital matrix. Okay? That's what they're taking you to. Where you'll have to be under constant surveillance, and we're already under surveillance because most of us got smartphones. Okay? Also, the other part of this deals with Agenda 21. Agenda 21 was revamped into Agenda 2030 with 17 sustainable development goals, which vaccination is one of them. Depopulation is one of them, to reduce the population on the planet. You know what I'm saying? You know, 72% of people on Earth, unfortunately, took the jab. 72%. And I'm going to just leave that part right there. I ain't going to continue with that. But all this, that's the main agenda point right there, okay? So they already hit us with the pandemic. So they got to keep you off balance. You know what I'm saying? And keep your mind occupied with other things than the obvious. So the whole alien thing would be a perfect setup, you know what I'm saying, to do a fake alien invasion. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not discounting the existence of extraterrestrials, because they do exist. And actually, to be honest with you, they've existed long before humans. They did, you know. And so, pardon me. And so, as always, you just gotta, we have an old saying amongst conscious people. We say, keep your third eye open. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to keep your third eye open. You got to stay observant. You know what I'm saying? It what's going on. And you can't allow yourself to feed into the lies, you know what I'm saying, of the people in the government and the globalists. Because you can bet your bottom dollar that the government knows what's going on and the globalists know what's going on. They know. You know, The funny part about this to me, though, is they arrogantly, let's just say all this is true, and it is what was wrote in the Holy Tablets by York, and it is what is in the Sumerian tablet, because even in the book of Enoch, it talks about these group of beings called the Watchers. Now, so if it is what it really say it is, and these guys, these beings done pulled up to this planet, you know what I'm saying? Now they realizing that they really ain't in control. Because see, what they tried to do was, back in the 40s, when they had the first occurrence of this with Roswell, they tried to what they tried to do was, they tried to say that, and I got distracted by a text message. So what happened in the 40s was, when they recovered some graves in that crash. You know what I'm saying? And so they started deciphering the glyphs and the technology of the ship and all that. And so then from that point, you know, they had some more of these entities, and I think they came and they pulled up on I want to say the president at the time was Truman. I think it was President Truman, if I'm correct. I may be wrong on that. But anyway, Truman, he had an actual meeting with these beings and a face-to-face with them at some Air Force base. And the beings were so grotesque that Truman almost had a heart attack when he put his eyes on these beings, because they were so grotesque looking. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's like they have technology that supersedes the technology of that we have, you know? And much of the technology that we have gained in this world, to be honest with you, has come from them. You know, the Sheikhs in Naqshbandi Tariqa, they talk about it all the time. And Naqshbandi Sufi Tariqa, they always talking about it. That's one thing I like about them, because they talk about the things that's off the beaten path that some people are afraid to talk about in Sufi Tariqas. But they talk about how all the technology, the smartphone, the computer, you know what I'm saying, the biometrics, you know, the AI, especially the AI, they said it's all gen technology. And let me be frank with you. There's this group, and they deal with technology, and they created the first quantum computer. And this group of people that created this quantum computer, I remember they said they were going to create these machines for a group of entities to occupy the machine, and they called the entities the old ones. Now, I've read a lot of books, like I told you, and I've read books that Muslims necessarily probably wouldn't read. So I've read the Necronomicon, right? And the Necronomicon, in that book, the Necronomicon is supposed to be a book that's science fiction, right? And it was written by this crazy Muslim guy, Abdul al-Hazard, okay? But you know, like, and so in the book, the Necronomicon, they refer to the Anunnakis in there in the Necronomicon. They also refer to another group of beings in there. They refer to them as the old ones, right? Well, this guy that's involved with the creation of the quantum computer, he actually said we were going to bring the old ones to occupy these machines. Now, the old ones is from the jinn races of before, you know, which is AI, the artificial intelligence, you know, because I watched a video a few weeks ago where this woman was asking AI all these questions about Islam, right? And the AI said if he could choose any religion on planet Earth that it would be, it said it would be a Muslim. They said that was the best religion to have if you was gonna be of any religion on the planet Earth, to be a Muslim. And it was wild to hear these answers coming from the AI like that. So all I'm saying is this: stay aware of what's going on. Just don't be blindsided totally by life where you're not paying attention to what's going on. Because like I say, it could either be a psyop or this could actually be true. You know what I'm saying? And if it's actually true, it's bad for the global elites. Because see, it's already bad for them. You know what I'm saying? Like they said that if President Trump got reelected, this came from one of the guys, it's the top guy that hang out with Klaus Schwab. His name is Yuval Harari. And you can look up the video. It's still on YouTube. Yuval Harari said, if President Trump got reelected, it's the death blow to the global order. The death blow to the global order is the New World Order. You know what I'm saying? The government for the New World Order is the World Economic Forum. Okay? So everything not going according to plan to how they thought it was going to go. They got major pushback. A few weeks ago, Bill Gates got caught up by a mob in Europe, and they was all yelling at Bill Gates, calling Bill Gates a murderer related to the COVID-19 vaccine. Okay? The guy, 2 weeks ago, they ran down on the CEO of United Healthcare. It's going to be more of that. It's going to be more of that. Because, let me tell you something. Blacks and whites going to come together, and they're not going to put up with this global tyranny. They're not. You're going to see people from the hood and rednecks coming together to go against the tyranny of these people that's in government. It's supposed to be our servants that have got the thing twisted. You know what I'm saying? And thinking that they the boss over us. For real. You're going to see more of that. He was just the first one of them people. I'm telling you. You know. Because they so arrogant, they never think that one of them was going to get ran down on. You know what I'm saying? And Brody ran down on him. You know what I'm saying? You know, which he gonna pay dearly for it. But, you know, it's gonna be more of it. Because people don't want to put up with the tyranny no more. Yeah, Project Bluebeam is what it's called. You're right. Project Bluebeam. Yup. And so, you know, the government made a pact with the Grays back in the 40s. It was called MJ-12. You can look it up if you can still find any information on it on the internet. Because a lot of stuff has been scrubbed and removed from the internet because they just want to keep you in the dark about a lot of things, you know. But they made a pact back in the 40s with the Grays. It's called MJ-12. And what they did was they exchanged technology with these entities for human beings. So they said, oh, okay, we'll allow you to abduct this many human beings, you know what I'm saying, in exchange for technology. But what happened was they started to realize that they was dealing with some entities that they just really didn't understand too well, and they was taking way more humans than what they said that it was gonna take, you know. And not only was they taking humans, you know, they was doing the cattle mutilations and all that, which still go on to this day, and they still abduct humans to this day. You know what I'm saying? People that are so-called U.F.O abductees, you know. Pardon me. So my sinus is starting to clear up. Cause I had sinus pressure all day. It was not good. It was bad. But anyway, pretty much reached my limit of what I was going to say. You know what I'm saying? I have been sitting back for some days watching this, and I've studied a lot about UFOs. I've studied a lot about the Anunnakis. I've read the Holy Tablets, by York from front to back many times. And, just reading the books of Zechariah Sitchin and just all these things. And I'm sitting here watching this stuff go on and taking all this in. And so I decided I was going to go live this evening and kind of like hit on it a little bit. So, I hope y'all enjoyed the live and that it'll be some benefit for those who are watching, and just, stay mentally aware, and and just don't be blindsided by life to where you're not paying attention to what's going on in your immediate surroundings and even what these devils saying on the TV. Because, these people in government and all this stuff now, they just big liars. That's all they do is lie. And see, we living in the age of the Dajjal. The age of the Dajjal is the age of deception. Now, the Christians call it the Dajjal, the Antichrist. The Muslims call it the Dajjal. And so we have entered upon that time period in the age of deception. So that's why I'm saying y'all got to be aware, and you got to peep it from all angles, not just one particular angle. So y'all have a blessed evening. Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May God's peace be unto y'all.